Welcome everybody. Before I start, I need active ano eh. How do we make rain in this room? How do you make rain? You light a fire and then smoke detector nagbubuhos, yeah. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to follow me, starting from there. I'll point, no? You have to follow me. Don't stop until I introduce a new action. Okay? Everybody understand? So I'll have to point, but you have to follow me, okay? Let's start with this table. Let's do this, okay? Make this. Not yet, not yet. Next. Sige, continue. Kayo, sige. Back row. Kala. Okay, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop. Congratulations, you just made rain. Part of design thinking is thinking out of the box. This is one of the tenets of design thinking. And many people think, how do we make rain? And the conventional thing is to create a fire in order for the sprinklers to come on. But, there are many ways to make rain. I promise to not be as short as Mitzi, but short anyway. I'm going to talk today what is and is not design thinking. I'll give you an example. How do you connect DT with HR for transformation? What's it all about? Okay. This design thinking is for what we call wicked problems. Wicked does not mean evil. Wicked typically means that every problem is unique. There's no clear problem definition. There's multiple causes. There's stakeholders with agendas. Actually, wicked problems can never be solved. You can only make them better. This is as opposed to, for example, napundido yung light bulb. Anong solution dun? You buy a replacement, you screw it on, ayos. Kung hindi umandar yung bagong light bulb, baka may problema sa circuitry, baka may problema ang lamp, no? But inevitably, you will be able to solve that, no? A wicked problem is like this. I'm sure many of you love that, something that you experience, di ba? It's complex, di ba? It can never be solved. Ang daming dahilan. Every time you try to introduce a new rule like number coding, what happens? People buy more cars, and then it contributes to more problems, right? It's a combination of attitudes of Filipinos. It's a combination of the way our streets are built. We are not a very well-planned city, Manila. Inherently, we're bounded by one side by Manila Bay and the other by Laguna de Bay. And so therefore, there's a parang constricted area where we must all funnel into. And the only parts where you can live is Cavite or Bulacan. That's why there are 3-hour traffic jams going there, no? So design thinking is good for wicked problems. Design thinking is good when planning fails. This is something that I try to teach nowadays in what we call high reliability organizations. I see many people photographing this. Don't worry, I'll email you the PowerPoint. You can use it in you can copy shamelessly and use it in your presentations, okay? Now, design thinking is about the business of designing things that are good for people, that people find desirable. Okay? That's the yellow part there. That does not, though, solve, though, the problem pa rin of viability. Is it profitable? And feasibility. Kaya ba ng technology? That is something that the rest of the business has to do. However, hopefully, by using design thinking in general, you're going to be able to achieve this middle spot called the experience innovation. A combination where you have a desirable, viable, and feasible product. For example, Grab delivery. Have you used Grab delivery na? Why is it desirable? You don't have to park. To send an envelope from Makati to Pasig, siguro mga 80 pesos. And then they'll handle that headache for you. It's done by motorcycle or whatever, you don't care. Okay? The motorcycle driver probably makes some money from you. But in general, it's a perfect product because it win-win. It solves all of your pains. You don't have to worry about sending it through even fact, it's better than your company messenger, di ba? Yung company messenger nyo, siguro ang haba-haba ng pila. Everybody wants him to do something. So the example here that I like to use is Grab delivery. Now tonight, I'm supposed to learn how to use Grab food. Kasi bachelor ako ngayong gabi, so I don't know how to do anything. So my son is instructing me via text kung paano mag-Grab food. Do some of you use that already? I'm so scared. Okay. Design thinking takes many forms. If you try to Google design thinking, you're going to get 128 million hits. So I'm not the expert here. This has been well-trodden before. Ang daming mga frameworks na available. Okay? All of them are correct. The issue is that all of the design thinking, maski na different yung mga frameworks, always boils down to this. These are the basic steps of design thinking. There are only 5 steps, and you don't need to get a PhD in this. They're very simple. The first step is what we call empathy step. Okay? That's the most important. That's when you try to, not by data. I'm sorry to say, this is not data-driven. This is by interviews, where you try to discern the pains of somebody. Not just economic pains, mababa sweldo ko, or my work is not very exciting, but also emotional pains. I feel neglected, I feel bored, I feel that I'm spinning my wheels, I feel that I was unfairly bypassed by my boss. No? So it's not just hearing economic pains, but also emotional pains. Okay? From empathy, we go to the step called defining. The other name for this, in the words of Mitzi, was inciting. For example, my students before interviewed mga class CD mothers, no? And they were asked, would you buy life insurance for 50 pesos a month? Magic number yung 50 eh, kasi anything more than 50, mahal. Pero kung 50 lang, kayang-kaya, no? And sabi nila, ayaw nila ng life insurance. Maski na 500,000, ayaw. But the one thing that they asked, that parang they concluded that most Filipinos wanted, St. Peter's plan. Okay lang, wala akong life insurance, pero kailangan may St. Peter's plan. Bakit kaya? Does everybody know what St. Peter's is? Yung burol with, St. Peter's even has this e-burol where your relatives in America can watch your bangkay, Skype. No sound needed kasi hindi ka naman nagsasalita eh. But turns out, St. Peter's is transferable. Di ba? You can transfer it anytime. It turns out that the deep need pala, it's not so much, sabi ng estudyante ko, ma'am, with 500,000 pesos, you can buy a burol plan and have more left over. Ayaw nila. Why? Filipinos, turns out, wants that assurance that pag may mamatay, that the family is cared for. Moreover, their deep need was, I need to send off somebody in a style that befits my family. Meaning, it's nakakahiya kung, presentation, reputation. Yeah, it's parang jahe kung hindi ka mag-send off, no? I don't know, this is a peculiar thing about Filipinos, no? That we must have that burol plan. Things like that. Or, one of the other things that my students found out using design thinking, ang assumption nila sa Hagunoy, kapag bumabaha, ayaw na mga tao kasi nakukuryente sila, binabaha sila. Turns out, many people in Hagunoy love baha. Bakit? Kasi umaapaw daw yung mga dikes at may libreng isda. And it's also their sign for waiting for the relief trucks to come. So, yung parang just when you assume, and I'm challenging you HR people, just when you assume you know what people want, they will surprise you that yung pala ganun, that humans are funny, no? They change over time. Okay, that's insighting. The next step is the task of what we call ideating. Ideating is also known as brainstorming. Okay? This is the exciting part where you're supposed to generate hundreds of ideas in a few minutes. Di naman few minutes, an hour or so, in order to come up with the next step, the prototype. Okay? The prototype and the test, which are the last two steps. No? The tenets of design thinking is that instead of trying to create a fantastic product na takes many, many months, what they like you to do is to make many quick prototypes, test them kaagad with the users, go back to the drawing board, what they say in design thinking as failing often to succeed sooner. So do not spend many, many, many months designing, say, a new compensation plan in your office. After 6 months, come to the people and say, here it is. Inevitably, you're going to get frowns saying, this is no good, or it's rejected. Much better to come up with a plan within a few days, show it immediately, get all the criticism, all the suggestions, go back to the drawing board, and do it, fail often, in order to succeed sooner. The other benefit of that is the users will love you because you're involving them in the design of the product. In other words, design thinking, it's not really thinking, it's about co-creating, creating together a product or a service with your customers, in your case, employees. Okay? Again, you're going to get this PowerPoint soon. Now, let's see. Okay, I told you how to do that. Okay. There are relatives of DT. For those of you in high-tech companies, Well, okay, first of all, design thinking was used to create the movie Toy Story. Okay? Yung mga ending storyline ng Toy Story ay all through design thinking. Okay? There is this thing called Agile. Who of you here work with your IT departments? Agile is the new way of developing applications na mas robust, mas testable, mas successful unlike yung old days, nung panahon ko, where we would go into a dark room for a year, develop a system, and after a year come out, palpak. Now, the way IT works is they work every day, consult with the user every other day, and come up with new solutions on the third day. Mas mahal ng konti, but it increases the chance of success. No? There is also a technique called lean. Sorry, hold on a second. There's also a technique called lean, okay? And there is all kinds of related, but basta agile and lean are the same. So, here's what I'm gonna do with you. Again, turn to your partner, parang yung exercise kanina. Okay? Please, this is a very familiar person. Yung grandma nyo, she may be living or dead. Never mind. Okay? Her current or medical condition before she passed away. What's her daily routine? What makes her happy? Mahjong? Apo? Okay? What negative emotions does she feel? What 3 things does she not share with the public that only you know about? Okay? Mabilis lang. Just ask your interviewer katabi. Lola nyo. Okay, stop. 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 You can't stop. Siguro yung lola nyo, character. How many people were surprised, things that you heard? You're not surprised? Parang typical lola? Ano bang typical lola behavior? Yung parang kulang sa attention? Ano pa? Very loving. Kaya nga lang, ano ba mga quirks ng mga lola? Spoiler of the apo, yeah. They love the apo. They don't really care for their own children. Yung parang, I don't care about you, just bring my apo, no? Ano pa? Plants. They love plants. Why? They don't complain. Okay. All right. Look, the whole exercise that you go through, if I gave you more time to do it, you could probably come up with all kinds of things. No? I made my students go through this. No? What we do for this exercise is that every person, some of you might have seen, this is called the business model canvas. Okay? Every person has gains. That is, what kinds of things do they get from a product or a service? Every person has pains. And every person has jobs that they have to do. Lolas have to go to Mercury to buy their maintenance meds, to the grocery to buy her daily ration, maybe visit the doctor. That's her job. She feels gains when the apos visit, or when she gets together with her barkada to play mahjong, tong its, whatever lolas do. The pain she might feel are loneliness, a little bit of parang resentfulness because maybe she doesn't like to be old, but yet she's in denial and is old, yeah? So everybody has an equation of gains and pains and jobs to be done. The objective of this exercise is sana, when you design a product for your lola, or somebody who needs delivery, or you're a customer, an employee, is sana the gains and the jobs that you give them are greater than the pains. Let me say that again. The gains and the jobs that you give to them outweigh the pains. This is when you generate what is called value. So the value, value is equal to gains plus jobs minus pains. So if you can make this big, this small, and this big, you'll be doing them a great service, no? Example, Grab taxi, folks. Ano bang pains ng mga babae sa riding normal taxis? Mainit. It's unreliable. You're afraid na lilibot ka. Right? Don't like ang taxi amoy combination of pomade, cigarettes, and sweat. Right? You're not certain about the price. It could be 60 pesos, but might be 400, right? And you have to stand on the corner, flagging, and you're competing with some other people, and they stop for you and they ask you, saan kayo pupunta? Quezon City. Ay, ma'am, di na pwede, magka-car bar na ako. And they leave you. Etc. Those are pains. What does Grab do for you? Grab, well, gives you the fare. Right? Kaagad, walang uncertainty. So, okay lang na pag-peak, ang fare mo, 350 pesos. At least, alam mo. Di ba? May air freshener, tsaka Kleenex. Yung driver, may ID. And you don't need to bring cash. You can pay by credit card. Tapos may resibo pa if it's a business trip, right? All in all, in general, it's a great service because it gives you more gains and jobs than pains. No? Another example, nasa dentista ko punta kayo sa dentista. The first thing you do when you get into a dentist's office, ano yung amoy? Amoy pasta? Yung nilalagay sa ngipin? Di ba? Parang amoy cloves, no? And then you hear pa, zing, zing, zing. So you're probably what? Fearful na, baka i-drill ka, no? But what do the dentistas give you sa waiting room? Magazine. Yung maganda yung pictures. Spanish. Di mo maintindihan yung words, pero maganda yung pictures. Right? O kaya Bazaar or Vogue. Nice magazines, free candy. Okay? So they give you gains because they're about to inflict pains upon you. Okay? So, in general, folks, value is when you can generate, benefits minus costs. The benefits are what? Gains, the job to be done, economic. minus the cost. And the cost could be economic, the price. It could also be emotional, the embarrassment, the inconvenience, etc. Those are also costs, yeah? Everybody cool with that? Okay. Design thinking makes you probe into what these things are in a deep way. You are able to, using the techniques of design thinking, discern what these things are. Okay, now, look what happened with my, when I did the exercise. People's grandmothers daw were happy kapag, I'm sorry, let me go back. They love chismis, gains yan. Netflix, apos, tuba, mahjong, tong its, spoiling the apos, no? Having complete set of teeth, okay? Now, the pains were, they felt disrespected. They felt lonely. They had no freedom, okay? They were fault-finding all the time. They were always trying to look for, sino may kasalanan dito, no? They felt helpless, no? Et cetera, et cetera. So, these are the type of exercise that we put you through when we do design thinking. Now, let me cut to the quick. And just like Mitzi earlier, I promise, I'm not going to drag on for the next hour. I'm just going to do another 15 minutes. Maybe I'll show you some video. Okay? How is DT connected to HR? Okay? I am not an HR person, so please forgive me that I don't know your specific terminologies. But I guess I have dealt enough that maybe I can see some of the functions that you do. Okay? Just think about, remember yung wicked problems? Wait, how do I know? Ito. Di ba wicked problems? Lolas are wicked. In the sense that every Lola is unique. There is no clear potential problem. Okay? Lola's problems are never solved. Maski anong gawin mo. Okay? It can take a long time to evaluate solutions, no? Solutions are not right or wrong, but better or worse. You really cannot really please Lola, no? Okay? Et cetera, no? Can you substitute, please, instead of Lola, okay? Let me move this person out. Okay? And instead, substitute an employee. Employees are wicked problems. Okay? They are unique. There's no one size fits all. They all have their little idiosyncrasies, yeah? Some of them are angel. No, that's not true. That's not true. Few are angels, no? But many are combination angel and devil, parang combined into one person. And, there are all kinds of idiosyncrasies like, let me give you one. Passive-aggressiveness. I'm sure you never encountered that with Filipinos, right? Anong problema mo? Wala. Or, kaya mo ba to? Can you work on this? Are you able to do this job? Yes, I can. Yung pala, they have to overtime for the whole night rather than be honest with you. Why is that? It's a good thing because malasakit, but it's a bad thing because, I don't know, somehow, many Filipinos can't be straight with you. Parang jahe sila. Ano ba, they want to save your face and. Okay, these are all employees are wicked problems, what I'm trying to say, which makes design thinking exquisitely good for discerning what those problems are. Okay? Design thinking allows you to discover all kinds of gains, no? Pains. Not only in technical things, like what salary level that they want, but gains such as, I don't know, what is, give me an example of what do employees want? They want maybe growth, sorry. They want a career path, maybe. They want new skills. They want to learn. They want mentoring and guidance. They want, of course, high salaries. They want sort of ability to change, right? Okay. What pains them? Well, pains them, for example, are things like, let me change color here, things like boredom. Maybe they have what, grudges, right, against other people. What else pains them? Jealousy, unfairness, stress, sometimes self-generated. Not sometimes, often. Self-generated, right? The jobs to be done, well, you know, the job, of course, there's work, no? But there's things that parang apart from work, they have to play politics, right? They have to decide every day, kanino ako kakampi? Kanino ako sisip-sip? Ganon, no? They have to negotiate. They have to sell. Okay? They have to do all kinds of things. That whole combination of pains and gains and needs, no, makes for a wicked problem that you can discover using design thinking. And therefore, create what we call experiences that are not going to solve their problems. Huh? Remember, design thinking cannot solve problems. It just makes it better. So if your issue is with, for example, performance reviews, right now your performance reviews are a little bit insincere, inauthentic, no? Perhaps design thinking gives you the ability to make more authentic, more sincere, more specific types of performance reviews, yeah? Okay. At AIM, I know we have a problem eh. Every time may performance review, everybody exceeds expectations. Why? Wala kayong problema na ganun? Kami lang? I mean, again, nobody wants to be the bad guy and gives you meets expectations, right? Maybe it's not, okay, that's a given that maybe that's our culture, but maybe there's another way to dream up of a performance review that don't use those words and allow you to give better performance reviews, yeah? This is what design thinking is all about. So, again, pardon me, I made this sort of summarily, and I'm not really sure how good they are, okay? Design thinking allows you to discover what employees feel they gain from, also what kind of pains they have, the types of jobs that they have to create, thus allowing you, again, from right to left, okay, what experiences you can generate for them, okay? How you can make hiring better, how you can set their values together, build their teams, train them, coach them, review their performance, etc. It's a nice technique that is not technology, but it's a way of listening to them and asking them to collaborate with you. I'm going to show you a video soon to see how that works, okay? Okay, oops. If you come to AIM, I have a 20-session course on this, so I'm compressing this into like 30 minutes, okay? Okay, so, all right. Remember, from left to right, you find out what pains they have, gains, pains, what jobs they have. You define an insight, this is what they want. Maybe it's not really the meets expectation or the exceeds expectation. They want it to be fair. Kasi naiinis sila na bakit si ganun, sama naman ng performance niya, EE siya, ako, ME lang. It's not so much the label, but they just want to be able to compare apples to apples, no? Okay? It's brainstorming, useful solutions, okay? Prototyping and testing them. And notice, in the chart, meron siyang arrows going left to right, and right to left. Meaning sabihin, you repeat. Parang shampoo, you rinse, lather, repeat. You do this often because you don't do this just once. You do it many times. Yeah. Okay. Coming to the end, but... Okay. What are the actions? Okay. I kind of forgot them na. Where's my código? Never mind. Corny. Look, I just forgot them in my excitement. Here's what, apart from giving you superior experiences with your employees, design thinking can also, because design thinking is about, as I said, co-construction and cooperation, okay, it makes employees buy in to your solution. It also makes them psychologically safe, that they're able to express their negative emotions and not be killed for it. Number two, it promotes active learning and inciting. Okay? The problem with many processes is that it hindi siya active. The people just like lecture to you. So tuloy, hindi nagsistick yung lesson eh. You ask them the next day, ano ba natuto mo? Wala. I forgot, no? But by doing design thinking, you make your employees more articulate and you make the learning stick. Okay? Here's another one. It pushes divergent, convergent thinking. Why? Part of design thinking is that kapag nagbe-brainstorm tayo, wala munang hadlang. Okay? Meaning, do not say, ang pangit ng idea mo. In fact, design thinking is what they call yes and. You're supposed to build on somebody's ideas, no? So that way, you encourage wild ideas, wild thinking. So it actually promotes innovation and healthy group processes. Ang problema ng mga groups kasi is that, pag may grupo, there's always what? What do you call this? Yung nakikiangkas, yung yeah, what do you call it? There's a term for that. They're in a group, one guy just sits there, does nothing. Not fence-sitter, but free rider. Ano kayo? You should know that. May mga free rider. And then may opposite of that eh. Kapag alam naman na leader na may free rider, siya din hindi magko-contribute kasi nainis siya sa free rider. Yung mga group processes, dysfunctional, no? But in design thinking, pare-pareho lahat. Everybody has to contribute. So walang free rider sa design thinking. It digs for deep emotions and concerns, no? This is a new age mindfulness, meaning you're kind of minding what people are doing. It encourages active experimentation. Di ba ang complaint nyo, this millennials, kulang sa grit, you know? Maybe design thinking is going to be able to build resilience, no? And finally, it's fun. You know, there's a lot of happiness in design thinking. Okay? Let me show you an example of design thinking. Ay, nako, wag na lang. Walang sound. Never mind. I'm going to show you an example of, this was like the pre-Uber days. No? When I went to Saigon, this was my 2002. This was before there was Uber. And getting a taxi in Saigon was just as bad or even worse than Manila. And then, ang kasama ko sa Saigon was a student, babae, a former student of mine, and she was so confident. Sabi ko, may dala ka bang cash? Wala. What? You know, so I was wondering, how the heck was she going to be able to no? So, I prepared the video. Hold on, let me, saan ba yan? Of what I experienced in Vietnam. I'm going to submit this to the Cannes Film Festival. It's a beautiful video, no? Okay? Wala siyang pera. It was in the 10 o'clock at night, dark streets, no? And then, nung sumakay kami, this is what happened, no? before there was Uber or electronic, ay, nagre-repeat na. You can watch this in Cannes, lalabas to sa Cannes, okay, Manila International Film Festival. Before there was Uber or electronic funds transfer, there was the Saigon Taxi Association. Sinasabi nila, ano ba ang pain ng mga pasahero? They don't have cash. So, pues, gawa tayo ng paraan, we can just plancha yung kanilang credit card. Saan tayo kukuha ng plancha? And everybody thought, how about Mongol number 2? Okay, ano yung papel? Maski na scratch paper, basta may blank side. And they all agreed to do it. And guess what? Taxi riding overnight became so easy to do in Vietnam. Using Mongol number 2, that thing never runs out of power. You can even sharpen it using, well, you need a sharpener. Hindi, maski na knife. Di ba? It never runs out of power, no? Tsaka mura. So I guess the whole point of design thinking is that when you innovate something that is cheap, that is desirable by people, solves their pains. Never mind yung mga fancy schmancy. Sorry, I know some of your sponsors are high-tech companies, but the solution is not always going to be a SAP or a high-tech system. The solution could very well be a simple manual process, okay? Let me summarize, okay? Design thinking is about wicked problems. Wicked meaning problems that really can never be solved, like human problems, no? They can only be made better, okay? Design thinking is about empathy, listening to the people and saying, ba't ayaw mo ng insurance plan? Kasi mahal eh. But what if we just charge you 50 pesos? Ay, ayoko pa rin. Ano bang kailangan nyo? Burol. Ba't mo gusto ang burol? Kasi transferable. Apart from transferability, anong gusto nyo? Kasi guaranteed, pag mamatay ako, my family doesn't have to worry about my being worried. Why? What's so hard about dying? Ay, yung death certificate, sila nang bahala doon. What else? Yung siguro, natataranta sila. Sana okay na yung kwarto sa St. Peter's. Tsaka yung kabaol na pili na. Tsaka may instructions na ako, cremate after 3 days. Tsaka may e-burol para makita ng mga relatives ko sa Daily City. You know, day and night, they can watch me. Okay? Tapos pati yung columbario, they can inter my ashes in urnement, no? And pati yung urn, napili ko. You know, why is that important for you? It's important. You know, that's the way Filipinos have to go. Okay? So, empathy is about going deep into their emotions, into their psyche, in ways that you go beyond just economic, but also emotional needs. Okay? It's about inciting, ideating, which is brainstorming, prototyping, building, and then iterating often. So this is a repetitive. But folks, if you have to remember one thing, what you should remember is empathy. This is all you need. If you can do this, you are design thinking. Actually, design thinking, let me just write that down, okay? Design thinking is neither a thinking, it's not thinking, it's not also design. It's actually putting people at the center and then analyzing them for their deep emotions. That's what design thinking is all about. This is what's going to make HR transformative and powerful. If you are able to be more empathetic, using their processes and co-constructing with them. Okay? And that's it, Pansit. If you just have your, wait, don't applaud yet. Is there a way to get the PowerPoint to them?
Yes, yes.
You can sell it. Siguro, basta may commission ako. But no, seriously, you can, if you just Google design thinking, there's 128 million hits on design thinking. There's any one number of frameworks, but just remember it's about empathy. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.